Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for January 10th through the 12th. And things are looking continued to be cold, but not as cold as it's been. A little bit of light snow tonight into tomorrow. Very little, not really much of an accumulation. Most of the storm is way to our south. But yeah, definitely some interesting weather still. And the cold will definitely make a run back at us, the real cold, next week again. But no big storms on the horizon yet, or anytime in the medium to long range, at least as far as we can look out, which is basically a week to week and a half or so. Here's our storm. Bringing a lot of snow to southern areas, even sleet and freezing rain, and some snow mixed in as far south as Atlanta. So oftentimes I say, if they're expecting the heart of the storm to be in Boston, that means we don't get really any snow. If you're expecting the heart of the storm to be in the Carolinas, we definitely don't normally get snow. Although there is like this northern piece, a little bit of a second low, as it's not completely organized, that is going to kind of head in our direction with some light snow, which will be a little bit lake enhanced, a little bit uplift enhanced. That could bring some snow to the area tonight into tomorrow. Nothing that's really going to cause any problems, but it'll be there, just kind of as an FYI. Let's take a quick look at that radar. You can see the heavy precipitation is all well to the south, but there is this kind of northern piece. There's another kind of, this is a dying upper level low that's enhancing some of this northern extent of the snow that will kind of sneak in here. But again, pretty weak. Not really anything to be too concerned about. It will make it look kind of pretty tomorrow morning, but I don't think the roads will be a problem. You may just need to kind of use a broom to brush off the steps or things like that, but should just be kind of snow globy type of snow. Very few people get more than an inch. 2 inches, I think, is basically the max, unless you happen to be like the top of the ski area. There you might get 3 or 4, but for the most part, pretty minimal amounts. Let's take a quick look at temperatures. This gives us an idea of where things are at. Still real cold in central and northern Canada. Not unusually really cold for this time of year, but up near the North Pole, we're way below zero. The core of the cold air that we've had across the east is starting to die a little bit. You can see some warmth and by warmth I mean 20s, so it's not exactly like real warm, but some warmer air has started to rebound across the central part of the country. That's going to head in our direction for the weekend. It's slightly warmer, still cold, still even maybe a little bit below average or close to average. But once again, you can see we're setting the stage for an ability to tap this cold air again next week. So we're going to do that, and once again get quite cold, as we have been this week. So it's felt like winter. It's been winter. Not a ton of snow out there, but there's a little bit of snow, at least in the mountains. But everybody's been cold over the last little bit. Let's take a quick look at why this storm is not going to make its way towards us. Because if you look at the radar, you'd kind of say, well, maybe it'll make the coast and come up the coast and be a big deal. No, unfortunately, if you're a snow lover, no. If you're not, then things are good. Basically, what's happening here is we have this jet stream off the coast as well. So even though the system right now is kind of following the ridge, coming north a bit, you can see it's going to eventually kind of be sucked out to the south and east of us. And so as that happens, we just get a little bit of the northern fringe of the storm, but most of it is kind of blocked from coming up the coast. The setup is just not correct, mostly across the North Atlantic right now, for systems to come up the coast. Whether that'll happen at some point this winter, probably we'll get a setup that's like that. But currently, no. It does look like we've kind of been in this basic pattern for the last week and a half. Looks like next week will be similar. And then there's some signs that the pattern may change. That usually you kind of get that 2 to 3 week pattern and then a change in the winter. What we would change to is definitely the models are just starting to guess at, and it's really too far out to know. But probably we will not be in this consistent pattern all winter. Like a 3 week stretch is usually about as long as it goes. So if you're getting sick of the cold and dry, we could change to, you never know, we could get even colder. That is, we're in a cold pattern, but not as cold as we could be. That's probably unlikely, but it's possible. We could stay cold and get more moist, get a more of a ridge going off the coast, in which case we get a lot of snow. We could flip to a warm pattern. It's really just going to have to see, and probably not till about this time next week will we have a little bit more of an idea of what the pattern might actually flip into. But I would look for a pattern change sometime end of next week. So basically Martin Luther King Jr. weekend into that week afterwards, where the pattern probably changes. But we'll have to see. Sometimes they persist even a little bit longer, so we'll have to see. And again, the models struggle with that. So just because it looks like that's going to happen doesn't mean we're going to know exactly how that's going to happen and things like that. I'll just mention at least temporarily, things are a little bit better in Southern California wind-wise. The fires are still very much going. It does look like they could kind of get another round of pretty. It's still not good out there, but it's gotten a little bit better. They've at least been able to fly the planes and stuff like that to start dropping water the last day and a half. That's helped. At least not have things get much worse than they already were. But there is definitely a chance that we would get another round of pretty significant and potentially bad situation again. So just kind of, yeah, it's not good. Those Santa Ana winds can be really bad in terms of just spreading wildfire in the LA area. Okay, let's take a quick look at the forecast, and we'll take a look at highlights today. A little bit breezy. It's been breezy. Probably not quite as breezy today as it has been, but still a little bit breezy. Highs a little bit warmer, mid-20s, instead of the upper teens or around 20. Tonight, that's where I just put flurries. Again, could be up to an inch. I did not do a snowfall map for you. It's basically everybody gets a chance of about an inch. If you're kind of on a western slope, maybe up to 2. Lows tonight, not quite as cold as it's been. Upper teens to low 20s. Tomorrow, mid-20s. A little bit breezy on the backside of the system tomorrow. Not crazy, not as breezy as it was now. We could get windy again next week, but we'll wait till that happens. Sunday is a nice day. If you're going to get out and ski, really good skiing all weekend. You want to bundle up, but it's not too bad. Sunday, warmest we've been in a while, upper 20s. Some valley locations will see 30. And basically more sun than clouds. Nice day on Sunday. And then again, we could cool back down, and we'll have to wait and see. There's another weak system that comes through like Monday night into Tuesday. It could bring just a little bit of snow, again, mostly flurries and things like that. Could bring some upslope snow, kind of like we had about a week ago. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then we get a better chance. Then the real cold kind of heads back in this direction again. So let's take a quick look at the highlights. Temperatures moderate somewhat, but still slightly below normal. A few flurries move through Friday night into Saturday. They will not amount to much of anything. Sunday is dry with some valley locations could approach freezing. No significant storms in sight, but snow showers and cold temperatures will persist next week, as we were talking about. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River of the Guy. If you're not a patron, you can check the link in the description below and see some of the benefits you get. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed before. I would encourage you to do so. I'll just make sure people don't miss my videos. And give it a like and ask any questions you want in the comments section. That helps new people discover the channel through the algorithm as well. So thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on Monday morning with a look at next week's work week forecast.